Do you buy any of these arguments, given all the information at your command, that was this reason enough to go in for a strike when negotiations were happening and the world now is facing the brunt all across West Asia and, of course, Asia itself?
In foreign policy, there are things that you can do something about, and then there are things where you can say something. This is an issue where I can't do that much. I can conduct diplomatic discussions with my colleagues and friends, but as someone obviously who always advocates international law, needless to say, both Iran and then Israel and the United States have worked outside the context of international law, because usually what happens, or framework, usually what happens is if you have these kinds of strikes, you do one of two things. You get a UN mandate, or you have a coalition of the willing. And in this case, it wasn't the case. But now that Iran has attacked the Gulf states, you're starting to see a coalition of the willing emerging. More skin in the game from big countries in Europe like France and the UK.
In this situation, do you think the Russia-Ukraine war, the focus on Russia won't be as much, because resources that could have gone to Ukraine or should have been used in that conflict will now be diverted to West Asia?
Well, I think two of the things that Ukraine has needed from the beginning and continues to need. One is air defense, and of course we're seeing a lot of the air defense now in this part of the world. And the second one is missiles, both of which are needed. But we have to understand that Ukraine is in a much better position than they were a year ago. On the battlefield, I hate to use these numbers, but over 90,000 Russian soldiers dead in 3 months. They're not able to recruit as many as they lose on the battlefield. Last month, Ukraine gained more territory back than Russia gained. I was in Kyiv on the anniversary of the war on the 24th of February, showing my strong support for President Zelensky and the Ukrainian people. They are in a much better place. And you have to understand that I come from a country which understands what's going on, because the Soviets attacked us in the Winter War and the War of Continuation, so there's a strong affinity. And I'll be very frank with you, Finland would have never joined NATO had Russia not attacked Ukraine. So these are big things in our region, and the important thing is that we understand each other and what's going on.